about grandparents living with you or a family member? Okay. Well, a lot of you guys are not aware of what happens in these settings. Your grandparents could be victims of elder abuse. And when I mean elder abuse, I mean physical.
The bottom.
The bottom one. The last
Bottom one? Oh. You could be in your, I'm sorry, forgot what was that? Oh, I mean by physical abuse, sexual assault, emotionally, physiology, and as well as financial exposure and as neglect and abandonment. The reason why I chose to choose this topic was because I have grandparents who were either taken care of by family members and a great-grandfather who was in a nursing home. And I've seen what a nursing home can do to someone. It's not very pretty. I mean, for me, I was 8 years old. I had just met him, and he was in Mexico, so there's not much I could do. But he seemed very damaged. I mean, damaged, he seemed like a broken person. He didn't want to speak, he seemed sad. But I didn't actually realize what was going on until I started doing research on this. The reason why I'm here to inform you about elder abuse because we should be able to protect our elders, and by knowing the signs, we can do that. What I'm going to cover today is how in the next 20 years, how the adult population is going to increase, what institutional abuse is, and domestic abuse. And I'll start off with in the next 20 years how elder abuse is going to increase because of the baby boomers, and they're going to retire in the next 20 years, and because of that, there's going to be more elders in nursing homes, and that's going to increase stress on the caretakers, and as well increase elderly abuse in the settings. And a lot of people are taking their elders from their homes and putting them in nursing homes, and then yet again, they're going to increase stress and elder abuse. There's an article in the LA Times where it was written by Ms. Lopez in 2010, and it's an article about this guy named Christopher Richardson. He actually breaks into a nursing home between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., and he sexually assaults 3 elderly women. How is a man able to get into there during daylight hours and assault not just 1, but 3 elderly women? And no one was aware of this happening until they came crying to their caregivers. Like, how are we going to protect people in 20 years when it's going to be more overcrowded if we can't even do it 3 years ago? That leads me into institutional abuse. Institutional abuse is generally is committed by a person who is legally or obtained to care for elderly people in nursing homes, foster homes, or any type of setting like that. And because of this, there's not a lot of supervision. And since there's not a lot of supervision of the elderly, a lot of caretakers take advantage of this to commit crimes. And since families tend to neglect to visit their elderly people, they're not aware of what's going on. And that brings me into domestic abuse. It's when maltreatment of an older person are committed by a person in their home or in the home of their caregiver. And even though our grandparents are in a comfortable setting, we're not aware that we might not be giving them exactly what they need, the care they need, the attention they need, and they feel very neglected and it can be very depressing for them. There's another article in the LA Times by Mr. Perry in 2011, how he talks about this veteran. He's like 93 years old and he's in his own home. 30s go into his home and they find him delusional, covered in filth, and they arrest his caretaker, Mr. Angeles, for elderly abuse, theft, and wrongly imprisonment. This man, when the sheriffs found him, was in the corner holding on to this picture of when he was in the Pearl Harbor War, when he used to clean the vessels, and he had a picture of the vessel. How sad is that to find like your grandparents like that? Like, you don't want anyone like to be in that situation. And that's why I want to make you guys aware of it. So, like I stated earlier, the reason why I wanted to inform you guys is because we need to protect our elders. So I've covered how it's going to change in 20 years because of the population increase, what institutional abuse is, domestic abuse, and the reason why we should do this is because if we can't protect our elders' rights now, who's going to protect our rights in the future? Thank you.